My name is Richard, and I'm a recovering addict. My name is Richard. I'm a recovering alcoholic. My name is Richard, and I'm a recovering workaholic, which meant I worked not to make money, but to increase my value, to fill my time. My name is Richard, and I'm a recovering sex addict, which meant I used sex to measure the quality of my relationships. My name is Richard. I'm a debt addict. So I maintain my debts so I can remain a victim. All these addictions were based on a misunderstanding of my social, personal, social, emotional, spiritual, mental difficulties could be overcome by the use of. So when I changed my behaviour, I was in a great deal of distress. Firstly, physically, and then emotionally, mentally. And in very early days, I was given this prayer, which contained me and grounded me. And today, 16, 17 years later, from those early days, I still find it of incredible benefit. Now, when it says, God, grant me the serenity, I have to consider what it is I am asking for. I have to consider, firstly, that I am asking for something. That was the novelty. That was the opening of the door, the realization that however many times I tried to change that behavior, my rather feeble attempts, switching from one drug to another, different controls on drinking, trying to take time out from work, none of these really solved the problem. Going to fellowships in early days, I was still using or drinking. Going to treatment began to lift the ogre, began, I guess, and the fellowship taught me. Here were people doing it with each other. They were helping each other. It dawned on me, grant me. It wasn't give me, or I wasn't demanding, but I was asking, dear God, grant me. I had to ask. But of course, the very first word, I had to overcome all my prejudices first. God. What is this word, God? To begin with, he was still that judgmental man in a white beard who was going to send me to heaven or hell. Judging all the that bad behaviour, I was pretty certain I was going to hell. Now, why would I pray to him? So I had to look and think. I had to think, who is this God? I had to begin with, I guess, just create my own. God was, I don't know. Maybe this was part of the path. Finding out. But I did begin to realise very quickly that God wasn't me. Although at times in my addictions, I had believed that God was me, or I was God, or I was godly in my omnipotence. that I could behave godlike at times. So it wasn't me. It had to be a power greater than me. Certainly to do combat with my prejudices and beliefs. So God, please, grant me, help me. Give me serenity. What is this serenity? I wasn't sure. What did I want? I wanted relief from this agony, this despair, despondency. I wanted relief from this physical pain, this shame, this guilt. What has serenity got to do with it? Why might that be helpful? I was always under the impression that if I fought hard, tried my hardest, did my best, it would work out for the best. And I guess it dawned on me at this early stage that this strategy actually hadn't worked. It hadn't worked at all. It hadn't worked in one small instance. Fighting, trying hard, just exhausted me. And it didn't solve the real issue. So maybe it was time to do something completely different. Serenity. To surrender to this sensation of peace, powerlessness. Some ease in my life. To give up fighting, give up trying. That was hard. I guess I didn't really know how to do that. I'd certainly never been taught. I'd been taught how to be self-contained, self-reliant, omnipotent again. I've been taught that not to trust, not to get close to anybody. Surrender. Okay. Maybe. And then it gets worse. I was to accept the things I cannot change. Accept. That wasn't how I used to do it. If something needed changing, I'd go into battle mode. I'd go into big effort. Charge, light brigade. Bring out the heavy guns if it didn't happen straight away. Accept. Surrender. Roll over. That to me talked of wimpishness, failure, giving up. I guess it was a invitation to go. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I had to accept. I had to accept that I really didn't know how to do any of this. I didn't know. And the opposite to all this trying to work it out was just accept. Accept it exactly as it is. I can't avoid this any longer. And whenever I moved away from that, I very quickly learned it got painful. A bit like in the, I guess a bit like in the If you gave the wrong answer in the torture room, you get the electric shock again. It was a bit like that. Every time I moved away from acceptance, I'd get the bolt through me again. Get back, get down, get on my knees, accept the things I cannot change. Not the things I've given up wanting to change, the things I cannot change. I couldn't change the events that made me led up to this part of my life. I couldn't change the people that had maybe brought about this situation. I couldn't change any of that. I couldn't change how I had hurt and the pain that caused me and caused others. I couldn't change this. I couldn't change what people, the damage, the shame. So I'm being told here just to accept it. I can't change it. I look to my right because I've got this prayer in front of me. It's been with me for a long time now. It's certainly my friend. It's the door. It's the open door every time. And a word will always pop out. The one that I've been probably ignoring. The one that I've tucked behind me again. When life gets difficult, I'll look at this or I'll pray and I'm on my knees and find that word. And this time it's change. It seems to be the key word here, change. Because when I don't change, when I try and hold myself steady, I think I found it. I found a place here. And it's not. I've got to move again. So when I'm on the boat, I know when I'm sailing, I've got my spot, I've got the position, I've got the wind in the right quarter, I'm moving successfully. Let's just hang in here and keep on that course. But then again, that's not how it works. There's a little shift in the wind. I might change. I might get a little bit cold. I have to put another jersey on. Something changes. And I have to respond to that change. I have to accept that it has changed. I can't do anything about that. I have to learn to accept that. And then I have to take courage to change the things that I can. Courage. That's not fearlessness. That's not adrenaline-fueled fearlessness. That's not, I don't know. It's strength. It's courage. Courage. It has a nobility about it. Accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. It takes something from me personally. I have to look into myself. I don't look outside for a bigger stick. or a different way of weaseling around this, of manipulating, of looking for answers that aren't there. I don't go fueling myself in order to leap through the hoops. I don't look for a quick way. I don't try my hardest to do it my way. I have to look deep inside me and find courage, honour. This comes from a place of me that's at peace, not at war, that's grounded. This comes from a place in myself that's almost tangible. I don't think too much about it when the storm comes up and I have to make a change in my course. I just know that this is how it has to be done. And I will work through the consequences as they arrive. And I guess that's courage. It's self-understanding. It's self-awareness. It's a place where I'm comfortable today. I certainly wasn't. Courage was not on my agenda. It was only something that had to be fueled somehow. Ego, self-will, determination, all these things. It's not any of that. I don't use my will power to change the things I can. I take courage. Because there is a risk in doing this, that it might not work out. Then I think we have to go back a step and accept the things we cannot change. So we've got it all here. It's all step by step. We change the things we can. So change seems to be the essence again. If we don't maintain this presence, this position of constant, consistent change, even when we stay still. When I practice Tai Chi, Tai Chi seems to be an art form of how to maintain one's balance in a state of continual change. Tai Chi is a meditational, I think, quite spiritual practice that's derived from martial arts. So Tai Chi exercises is you work on your own, but within martial arts, you're also in confrontation with the other person. So you work with their energy and the changes that are going on for them as well. So you're in relationship with your body, your soul, your spirit. Perpetuate this state of change. If you stay still, you freeze or fall over. Change isn't the other response, which is flight or fight or freeze or flop. Give up, roll up, hide. So courage to change the things I can. So we have to differentiate. What is it I can change and what is it I can't change? I can't change what that person did to me 20 years ago that's left scars emotionally, physically. I can't change what I did to that person 25 years ago, but it's left scars of shame. What I can do is I can work with those feelings. I can't change the facts. I have to use my wisdom to understand that I can't change that, but I can change the consequences. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's shame, lovelessness. I need to know the difference. I need to engage all of me at this stage, not just what happens in my brain, my head. I need to engage my whole body. My body, I find, somewhere has the answer. I trust my heart. My heart is more aligned to wisdom than it is to the understanding and information computer in my head. Wisdom comes from experience. When I came into very early recovery, I had no experience of this state of being. I was having to learn to be in the world in a different sort of way. I had to connect with my inherent wisdom, the wisdom that's tucked in deep inside me. This takes practice, it takes work, it takes effort, and it takes effort to find a way of learning, of being open to this. It doesn't come automatically, wisdom, but it is there. We have got it. As our experiences of recovery develop, our wisdom will develop. This is a phenomenological process. Our whole bodies contain wisdom, our inherent knowledge of who and how we are on this planet. But we're part of. So we define the differences. Maybe no, I'm not up for this yet. I'm not in the right condition yet. No, but that yearning for that relationship is beyond my capability at the moment. I have to learn patience and practice and tolerance. These come with wisdom. They're not automatic. It's a matter of how to connect with that part of ourselves. When I get down on my knees, not just on my knees, but on my whole body, it's down, head on the floor, then I can surrender and ask for serenity. Because I think it's when I'm in a state of serenity that I can connect with this inner wisdom, this inner knowledge. I have to quieten for a moment what happens in my head. I need to find the tools to do that. For me, out in nature is a good tool for me. Guide other people to find this is a good tool for me. It helps me in my search for wisdom. I have an iPhone that is full of knowledge. It's full of information, rather. When I gather the information, then I become more knowledgeable. But it doesn't give me wisdom. Wisdom is experiential. It comes from our inner selves, and it has to be built upon. It's not automatic. So when I say this prayer, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. This was the rock I could stand on. This was the rock I could share with many others. And in the last 15 years, I have learnt that this particular prayer is not only beneficial for people with the sort of difficulties you and I might be struggling with, but this is a prayer for anybody. The benefits of this prayer are universal, which makes me think that the difficulties we face as recovering whatever we're recovering from, are universal difficulties. Because there's a solution here that's so simple that when we build this experience and repeat this form of behavior, my life gets better. Very simple, as simple as that. It's no good me just saying it by rote, saying it blindly. Sometimes or other, I need to listen to the words, or listen to the words now that I'm saying to you. The words that stand out. God, grant me serenity, acceptance, change, courage, wisdom. Thank you.